Well, hello, true gardeners. Welcome back. So today, Bryce and I are in our neck of the woods. We're in Vero Beach, Florida, and we're going to visit McKee Botanical Gardens. We're going to take you guys on this tour with us because I don't know if you guys are feeling a little bit like we are, but we've been a little cooped up lately in the holidays and everything that goes on along with the holidays. We're two designers that need some inspiration, so that's exactly what we're doing here today. So hopefully it inspires us and it inspires you, and we're going to share with you all of this beautiful 18 acres of gorgeous, gorgeous tropical fun. You guys, if you like this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe. And if there's a botanical garden that you've been to that you absolutely love, then please share it with us in the comments down below. But let's jump right in and see some of these tropicals. Oh, wow, look at this guy. What a gorgeous display. Oh, my goodness, isn't it cool? And I think we're just gonna go right up and then head right into the Royal Palm Grove. So this right here, you guys, is the entrance of the garden. Oh my goodness, and just a feast for the eyes. And then of course you see the large Christmas tree greeting you as you come in. So if you guys have those stumps in your garden and you kind of don't know what to do with them, I don't know if you remember my garden and how I have a big oak tree stump and I put a bromeliad in it. This is where I got that idea. They've got several stumps with really cool displays. This just happens to be in the front, so I thought I would share it. But drill a little hole in that stump and put something like a grouping of bromeliads around it because they have such a little root system. It really just doesn't take much effort to kind of do that. Add some moss, drape it down, and voila, you have a natural planter in the garden, which I think is so cool. And they pair it with these gorgeous Americana agaves. Neat little entrance feel right here as you're coming into the garden. I love this. Just right out of the hole of the boulder. How cool is that? So those of you guys who have yesterday, today, and tomorrows, you know this is their time to shine. This is when they're really glorious. The rest of the year, they're kind of just green shrubs, but right now it's just like, oh my goodness, with their purple and white blooms. There's just not many things in Florida that offer that. I wish they did that more often and I would use them more, but this time of the year, it makes me want to get one every single time. All right, I think we're gonna head over to Bolivia. So they have these little posts and signs kind of at your little intersection showing you where you wanna go. They have Bolivia this way, Venezuela, and they just threw in the model train option. I don't know, I don't know what that's about, but I guess we're gonna find out. So we're gonna head over this way. So right here we have a Reclinata cluster. Now this guy is kind of, you can tell he's really old. He's got some age on him. This tree gets a nice size too. It has multiple trunks and it's in the Phoenix family. So you can see why a lot of people go with pygmies because this is a bit aggressive for most yards, but it is really cool how the trunks just do whatever they want to do. And you can tell this is an old specimen. I'll just get a little screenshot of us doing that. So we got a little detour and I have a feeling this is gonna happen often, but I caught this out of the corner of my eye. Look how cool this reef is, you guys. It's just so neat. Makes me want to do this next year.
How do you even do that?
And it's just a reef full of air plants. I think that is just so stunning. Yeah, it is so cool. Okay, I don't know if I'm supposed to be back here, but you guys, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The most perfectly placed statue. She's watering the bird's nest fern. And she's huge. She's like almost as tall as I am. I want her. I think this is just so cool. So great.
You better be careful. They got to put cameras on you at night.
I know. I just think she is so cool out in the garden. Hey, you guys, check out this old man palm. How cool is he? He's got all that gruff at the bottom. It is just so neat. You can just really see this old man fuzz.
Yeah.
Right along this base. It is just so cool.
It's like a big beard.
It is like a big beard. That's exactly what it's like. Excuse me, sir. We shall be leaving now. Hello. Hello. Look at this Christmas tree and that topper. Oh, the birds. Now I could totally get behind a Christmas tree like this.
It's a bromeliad Christmas tree?
It is a bromeliad Christmas tree.
These like alive?
Yes, they're absolutely alive. So sorry about that, fellas. All right, you guys, so if you have that dead tree in the yard, just knock that bad boy right over, stick some ferns on it or some philodendron, add a statue behind, and voila, you have a perfect little display. A little botanical garden in your backyard.
It seems like you always drifts towards the driftwood, don't you?
Anytime you can change an element in the garden, whether it's a boulder, a piece of driftwood, add a statue, then put all your soft plants around it, it's almost like you are creating a little piece of art in the garden. So I think it's cool.
I can agree with that.
All right, so right now we are in Palm Alley. Look at this. Look at these royal palms. Gosh, they have to be 30, 40 foot tall.
It's pretty impressive.
Just a little shallow river. Gosh, I could have this in my backyard.
Would you put a couple koi ponds, or no, would you put a couple koi fish in here?
I might have to. Looks like it runs so beautifully. It's just so shallow. Look at that. Talk about a meditative spot. I would have benches everywhere. If I had 18 acres to work with, this is what I would do with my space. It would look like this. Look at these gingers just falling over the edging, kind of softening all the boulders. I just think that's stunning.
Do you know the names of these?
Those are chenille plants. They come in a ground cover and they come in big bush form, just like this. The ground cover is really interesting because you can use it and it stays around that 2 foot range and it blooms just like this in this kind of environment. All these trees are creating a pocket of shade for it and it absolutely appreciates it by these cool, like, I don't know, like a firecracker like bloom that comes out of it. It is just really, really neat.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, definitely an interesting texture in the garden. And I know a lot of people wonder if palm trees will actually offer you any shade, and that tells you everything. If you have enough of them, absolutely, they will blot out the sun. Oh, look at this. I love this entrance, pots. This is what I'm talking about, you guys. Putting a cool pot right in the garden, right at the entry point. What good pedestals these are. Oh, something else I want to take with me. Look at these Rojo Congos. What a nice display of them. What's so funny is you can see the ones that have a little bit more sunlight, have a little bit more of the red backing and more of the veining. And then the ones that are over here in the shade more have more of the duller pattern. Still beautiful in its own right, but what a cool plant. What a nice little curved display.
Rattlesnake plants right over here too, right?
Yeah, look how nice they look. I've always had trouble with those. They must be doing something right here because I don't have a lot of luck. Oh, how cool is that? I'm sorry, you guys. You check it out. Yeah, go ahead.
Spin it.
Oh, it does?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I know I did spin it.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Now look through it.
Oh, no
That's
way.
so cool.
Oh, that is awesome.
It's tiny little black spinning, and no one can see it because the plants are all overgrowing it.
That's hilarious.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have another potted plant in here. This looks like a curled poinsettia. Look at how pretty that is. I've not seen one of those before. It's like a little rose. It's like it's been using my curling iron.
It's such a soft flower too.
Very festive. A nice collection of diamond quarter lines. Hello, ladies. You look wonderful underneath this big giant royal. Looks like this giant fig leaf. I wonder what kind of vine that is. You guys know what kind of vine that is? Let us know. I don't know if we're in Bolivia anymore.
Look at the big mushrooms.
Oh my gosh. I have found the statue I want to bring home.
It's got a little owl on it.
It is so cool. Okay, I want selfie pictures, Bryce, underneath this guy. This is probably the type of bamboo that you do not want to plant in your garden. But what a stunner it makes. Look at how they're crossing over each other.
Very cool.
Very cool. Let's go left.
Left. Well, I think that you don't really have a choice.
That's why I said it.
Oh, okay.
Bamboo's at McKee. Bamboo is a flowering perennial evergreen plant in the grass family. The grass family. It can be grown in different altitudes and climate conditions in Asia, Australia, North and South America, and Africa. It does kind of scare me that something can grow that fast in 24 hours.
Yeah, 3 feet is in 24 hours is crazy.
So there's our epiphytes, and they're gonna grow right on the tree, just like so. So if you, like me, and you don't have any more ground space to plant things, start working your way up your trees, because these epiphytes, and of course, we all know bromeliads do the same thing. So you can just kind of woof, right up the tree, get some extra square footage.
You tie them with a zip tie, or do you just get a little string?
You can do a zip tie. They have a little bit of a root system. You go to the dollar store and get a bunch of stockings and just wrap them around with the stockings. They'll decompose. By the time they decompose, the roots have taken hold and you're golden. Wow.
It's pretty cool.
That is stunning. What craftsmanship. You know, it's pretty impressive that something that grows that fast can grow that fast and that strong at the same time.
You know, with how fast it grows, this could really just be one bamboo.
Look at the stalks on this. Look at how large they are. And the leaves are just, I don't know, it has such an Asian feel. I'd put that in an Asian garden somewhere. Oh
Totally.
My goodness, stunning.
Oh, is that your Penanga coronata?
Yes, sir, it is. Hello, gorgeous girl. This is a very old one because as you guys know, you've seen mine. It's kind of tall and thin in the garden, but yes, they will multiply trunks and give you that size, but in a very long time. This guy's probably quite old.
You can always tell it's a Penanga coronata just because of the leaf structure. Like, look at this. I don't think there's really anything that replicates that.
No. And what's great about these guys is if you got a more of a narrow spot and you need something to really stay put for a long period of time, they're just a fantastic vertical plant. And then if this feels like it's just too big for you guys, these do create little pups, but they're really nice and tight to the trunk itself. So you could just take those pups off and no one's the wiser, or you don't have this much height to work with. And you know, because this is kind of a good size right now, you can literally take the height out by taking the center trunks off and you're not going to affect the tree at all because they survive, individual pups survive on their own. That's a better illustration of an old man palm, you guys. Look at just how cool that beard is. You know, I've never really used them in a garden. They're a little bit pricey and I feel like they don't really kind of pop out at you to kind of give you that, I don't know, that tropical kind of jungle feel instantly. But I don't know, maybe it's as I'm getting older, I've learned to appreciate them more and more for that kind of rustic charm that they offer. And right here, I think he is super cool right next to this big giant alocasia. I mean, look at that guy. Wow. What a contrast. And that's what's great about the diversity of plants and trees when you see them put together, because they really show off so well when you have something super polished or something super shiny next to something that's a little bit gruff, a little bit old. It really shows off so nicely. You know, I saw this in the Miami Botanical Garden. It's called a savanna palm.
They're huge.
Those stalks. And you can see, I don't know if it's naturally grown that way or because it's in the shade, it's stretching to try to reach the sunlight. They'll do that where they'll have a long, long frond before it opens up, just to stretch to get to the sun. So I don't know if that's their natural look. I've never used one in my landscapes, but it's nice to know that they grow here and grow well, it looks like. All right, so next we are going to Peru, where I'm from. So let's make our way home. That powder puff tree just kind of over top of the water line. Now that's a white and you don't see them very often. You usually get the pinks and the reds. So to see a white is super cool. I'm wondering if that was originally a bush that's been turned into a tree, because they're so rare. Visiting a botanical garden is a great way to almost like do your research within your research, because you know that if it's here and it's living in your zone, it's definitely something worth trying. So we are in Peru now and we've got some Malaysian orchids. So they're visiting Peru, but I think what calls to me the most is the pottery. So this is definitely a Peru style pottery. Look at all of this color, look at this beautiful tile. Oh my goodness. So I was born in Peru. My father met my mother there. He's American. I lived there until I was about 5 and then came here. My parents opened a design studio, a carpet and tile and wallpaper place in Okeechobee, little town of Okeechobee, Most of you guys probably don't know where that's at. And now we're here. We've been working in design, and you guys know the rest of it, that my son works with me. So does my daughter-in-law. We're a family business. And I am thankful for my roots, and I'm thankful for where I am right here today. And I'm thankful that you guys are here with us. I love that we get to share this aspect of our work and our life together. You guys kind of get to see it kind of unfold every single week. And I don't know, I think that this is just so charming. Now I've got ADD again because the waterfall is calling my name. We are going this way, you guys. Look at all of the little glass work that's embedded into the waterfall stone. All right, I'm gonna have to figure out what I can use to recreate this kind of look, because I like it.
Look at those lobster claws. They are doing amazing.
They are, aren't they gorgeous? They're stunning. I love these vertical heliconias. I mean, literally, I walked right underneath here and it go right into shade. It just shades out and creates such a nice little shade garden. They offer you a pretty instantaneous jungle vibe. They grow quite fast. Now they do spread a bit, so you'll have to kind of stay on top of that, but I do think that they offer quite a bit of impact, and the fact that they do spread and kind of give you some thickness is ideal. Now, they don't have them tied up, but the one lobster claw that I have at my house, I have it kind of banded together, like the whole cluster, so it really keeps it real thick and dense. And then I kind of camouflage the banding. So it's super easy to maintain because whatever you don't want, you just get rid of. So say for instance, if this is a stalk that's coming through and it's getting too close into the walkway, you just really dig that guy right back out. Now you can do an edging here and that does help prevent some of that, but honestly, I think they wanted that kind of wild look. So if you like Heliconia, then you kind of are in line with that wild look. Now, that being said, I don't ever plant the little small Heliconias because they are spreaders. Those guys will kind of take off on you. Plant the big boys. These are more of a clumping variety versus the little 3-gallon, the ones that you find at Home Depot or Lowe's, the ones with the small stems. Those can be scary in the garden, so you kind of want to avoid planting those at all costs. If you love this plant and you have to have it, and you know that it only really gives you this blooming cycle about 3 months out of the year, but it happens to be the 3 months that you might be in Florida, this is totally worth it. When I design with this particular plant, I always make sure it's a backdrop, kind of like I do the plumeria trees. So that way when they're not nice and pretty and gorgeous, they're kind of in the background and you don't notice them. But when they're blooming, they're taking over a space. So they really are like a peekaboo plant. So how I would plant this is I would put it to the backdrop, give myself plenty of room to put some layers of material to the front of it. So when it's just green, it's just a green backdrop. During the winter season and the fall season, it's giving you what it's giving you, which is this. So definitely worth having in the garden if that's your time of being in Florida. Wow. It's like, it's the attack of the bamboo. It's right there in the middle of all the poor oak tree. If you love the look of some of these water plants, there's some really gorgeous ones. I know these aren't doing super, super well, but if you've got a pot, plug that hole, put it in the garden, just leave it out in the water. It doesn't need movement. You can throw a donut in there every once in a while so you can avoid the mosquitoes, but very, very cool to just have a water plant sitting in the middle of your garden. Look, bamboo art.
It's kind of funny because if you were to see this, like some signatures all the way up there, you just knew how fast it grew.
That's true, that's right. This is probably a seedling. It was probably a volunteer from another tree. That guy right there. But I love when they're young like this, if you put them in a shady spot, just like you see here, their stems, these stems will kind of pop out and they'll be like, the stems themselves will be like 10 foot tall before it opens up to a frond because it's trying to find the sun. So as this tree grows, this tree right here will have an awesome stemming. It'll be searching for that sun.
This trail celebrates the native flora, the frame on which our garden is built.
This is why there are no weeds here, because this forest floor is just the way nature intended it to be. In my garden, I've done the same thing with different plant species that are more of a ground cover grouping. You know, the burl marks, the aglionemas, foxtail ferns, things that give you such density in the garden that create its own ground cover, its own microclimate. Not only is it helping to bring humidity and keep warm air in my garden, but it's kind of really helping me from weeding. Because when you have all this going on, you have very little room for growth. So it's fabulous to just kind of have a ground cover floor, just like nature does. The brightness, the softness, it's just such a delicate flower. Now I've used the shrimp plants, the button shrimp plants that are the darker yellow, but I've never ever used these before. And I can see they're probably on the higher maintenance side. They have a big long stem, but gosh, to have something like this in a shady garden, this might be perfect to put in a pot, like a collection of these in one area, and just let this pop out into a walkway just like it is here. It's just such a delicate pop of brightness, like a spotlight. If you guys know much about it, please leave it in the comments down below, because I think I'm in love. I mean, doesn't this look like a sculpture in the garden?
Really does.
And I've seen them where they have bigger heads to them. This one's in the shade, so you can tell it's a little stunted, but they get enormous. I planted several of them in really, really interesting gardens. Are they not cool? They've got the Malaysian orchid plant in there. Now I've tried to plant this in the ground, you guys. I don't know if anybody else has had some success with it, and I cannot make them grow in the ground, but in a pot, they are super hardy. They really can stay in that pot for a very long time without getting pot bound. I've had one in a pot for 5 years, which is kind of unheard of for potted plants. You know, usually you have a 2-year turnaround for anything to be super healthy, but every single year it blooms. So if you have a shady spot and you're looking for something interesting, an interesting leaf, and the blooming cycle on these are really, really good. They bloom in all the cooler months. Oh my goodness, hello birds' nests. Look, it's just like a sea of them. They're just beautiful. If I had the room, I'd have a whole bird's nest community of ferns in my garden. I have like a clustering here and there, but I would literally, just like this, carve out one section for them all. The normal, and then we call it lasagna. That's the nickname of it. I don't know what the species name is. Maybe I can find a plaque. Nice to have the botanical name every once in a while, huh? Oh, this one's very happy in here, isn't he? Very pretty.
McDowell? Is that the name of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very pretty. Love the veining on this guy here.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think we're on our way to Brazil now.
Oh my goodness, the Carpoxylon. Look at you. Beautiful. Look at this branching, but look at how that curl, that leaf curl is. And it's always the perfect kind of green. I just think they're just such a beautiful, to me, this tree has such an elegance to it. Doesn't it, Bryce?
Oh no, it's pretty.
Now they grow super slow, which is the unfortunate thing, but if you find one, even if it's little, you guys, pick it up. It is such a tough tree, so very interesting. And I just love that it can actually fit, and it doesn't look like it here, but it can fit in more of a compact space, because as it grows up, that leaf, it pops up and then curls down. So you get like a bunch of leaves in one little collection, which is super cool. Those bromeliads that we just talked about, this is what they look like when they start to fill out. So you start them off, and as they carry through, they just multiply, 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 and then all of a sudden, you have a sculpture, a bromeliad sculpture in your garden. So if you've got a kind of a unique dark spot, there's some really pretty bromeliad options that you can use, and just let them climb the tree. Is a cabata palm. It's probably one of the tallest ones I've ever seen. Now, a lot of people confuse those with areca palms, but they are not. As those chunks get bigger, they have a nice white ring around them, that nice whitening to the ring. And this one's a little darker than normal, probably because it's in the direct shade. But this tree is stunning, and surprise, surprise, I just got one. I have a new addition in my backyard. I've been saving this cabata palm for ages because it's so hard to get my crew at my house. That's not the way it always goes. All right, and just like that, you guys, we are back at the front. I know we did not get time to hit all the 18 acres, but I hope that it brought you some happiness, because I am leaving with a smile. I know Bryce is leaving with a smile, and I hope that this video was something that you guys enjoyed. You got to sip your morning coffee over, or in the evening having your glass of wine with, because I love that we're sharing our beverages together. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and I will see you next week at our next garden tour.